In her upcoming memoir titled Counting the Cost, Jill Duggar Dillard, age 32, bravely shares her experiences growing up as part of the famous Duggar family featured in 19 Kids and Counting. The book delves into her clashes with family patriarch Jim Bob Duggar, where she accuses him of financial improprieties related to the reality TV show. One of the most explosive revelations in the memoir is how Jill compares her treatment by Jim Bob to how he handled her eldest brother, Josh Duggar, who faced legal issues related to childish abuse. In response to Jill's revelations, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar issued a statement through People magazine. "We love all of our children very much. As with any family, few things are more painful than conflicts or problems among those you love. We do not believe the best way to resolve conflicts, facilitate forgiveness and reconciliation, or to communicate through difficulties is through the media or in a public forum, so we will not comment." One exclusive excerpt from Jill Duggar's memoir recounts a pivotal meeting between Jill, Derek, Jim Bob, Michelle, and a mediator, highlighting the tension within the family. Just before entering the meeting, a young woman approached Jim Bob, expressing admiration and capturing a video together. Jill clearly shaded her father in her upcoming book with this lines: "I heard Derek try to explain that we never meant for the letter to be taken that way. I looked at Pops. He was still scowling. 'I'm sorry,' I said. 'We love y'all and could have used more care. We wrote the letter together and had hoped it would help explain our feelings, but I know we kept adding to it, and then we were tired and just figured we had better go ahead, send it along.' My voice trailed off as I tried to find the right words, but Pops wasn't listening to me. He had his own list of things he wanted to talk about. You sent me a text message, Jill. You said I was verbally abusing. I was so offended by that too. You know in your heart that's not right. Are you going to apologize for that?" She continued. "I was nervous now. I remembered the message, remembered sending it in the hope that it might wake Pops up to how bad I felt things had gotten, to maybe make him give us a little space and let things calm down. I'd written about not wanting to be verbally abused, which was exactly how I felt at the time. I'd felt it in El Salvador as well. I wasn't sure that I could apologize for that." I glanced at Derek as I remained speechless. Pops must have sensed what I was thinking, because he suddenly stood up. "You're not going to apologize? Really?" His voice was loud, and there was an edge to it that I'd rarely heard. The moderator looked pale and was stuck on mute. Derek tensed, and I could feel him getting ready to step in. I squeezed his hand, hoping he get the message. "Hold back. Please be quiet. Do not let this get any worse than it already is." We were facing each other from opposite couches, open space between us. Pops took a step toward me, closing the gap. It wasn't a gesture of reconciliation. It was an act of aggression. He towered over me, his whole body fueled with anger, my face flushed red, my eyes filled with tears. Then there was a long, awful silence that I wanted to fill but just couldn't yet. Derek's hand was shaking in mine, and I squeezed as hard as I ever had, desperate for him to hold his tongue. "You know why you're crying, don't you? Your conscience is talking to you. That's why." Pop's voice was so loud in my ears. His words were like blows. I instinctively tried to protect myself and block him out. I curled up on my seat, trying to find safety in some kind of fetal position. "You're guilty," Pops was yelling, stabbing a finger at me, standing right over me. Mom started crying. Derek tried to speak, but I pulled him back. "You want to know why I'm crying?" My voice was cracked, my eyes burning. "It's that you think I'm some kind of horrible person just because I wear pants and have a nose ring, and yet you see that girl outside and praise her. That's why I'm crying, Daddy. I'm evolving and changing just like that girl out there, but you can't see it. You treat me like I'm a prodigal who's turned her back on you. You treat me worse than you treat my pedophile brother." We all are really happy that Jill finally stands up for herself.